everybody. Let's see. Volume up. Tiffani Higgins here, going live for weekly Tuesday live, 11 a.m. Central. I'm actually in Eastern today, so it's noon. If you can hear me, if you're watching and you can hear me, let me know. I'm in the RV. It's kind of loud in here. We're traveling around and working on the go, which is a really cool perk of having a virtual business. So you can get to travel around and have flexibility, go on vacations and work on the go. Hi Corey, thank you for letting me know you can hear me. So today I'm gonna just talk about, answer any questions that you guys have. If you're totally new to the group, let me know so I can give you a little bit of a backstory. If you haven't checked out our website and got our ebook at thestayatHomeBookkeeper.com, you can grab a copy of our ebook, and it walks you through exactly how you can transform your life from working in a corporate job and not really getting paid what you're worth, and having to punch a clock and have all these restrictions and not a very flexible lifestyle, to being able to start your own business and make $100 an hour. So you can either work less, spend more time with your kids and travel, or you can work the same and make about 4 times as much as what you're making right now, which is really cool. And it's definitely not a get rich quick scheme, but it is also not too good to be true, which I know a lot of people, when they first join the group, they think it is a scam or it is something that is not going to work for them. And there is a 100% success rate for those that keep moving forward. The only time we see people struggle is when they have a lack of confidence, or they have another mindset issue that they need to work through. Pretty much following the roadmap that we lay out for you in the Bookkeeper Academy will 100% get you to success and will help you reach all of your financial goals and your non-financial goals. So if a lot of you are wanting to continue to grow your family and you want to be home, maybe you want to homeschool, maybe you want to show your kids around the country, you can definitely do that with having a virtual bookkeeping business. Some of the common questions that we get asked all the time are, do I have to be good at math? No, you don't. You just have to be organized and have good attention to detail. And I use a calculator literally for everything. There's even calculators built into QuickBooks, so you don't even have to worry about needing to be good at basic math. You just need to be organized and have good attention to detail and enjoy learning new things. Let's see, how quickly can I start making money? Hey Kim, good to see you. You can make money with this within the first couple of weeks, honestly. We have this set up to where we will help you with the actual work. Even if you have no experience, you've never even done bookkeeping before, you can get in there, you can have your business ready to go within a couple of weeks. You start following our guidance and our roadmap. When it comes to marketing, you could potentially have a client within your first couple weeks of joining, and that client pays you first, and then we show you how to do the work. So we help you do the work. You get unlimited one-on-one Zoom calls for your first client. So we walk you through absolutely everything. So it's kind of the opposite of college, where you go to school for 4 years, you learn a bunch of theory, and you get no hands-on experience, and then they dump you out into the real world without really knowing how to do anything and no real way of making money. The Bookkeeper Academy is exactly the opposite of that. We actually help you start making money right away. We teach you tactics so that you know how to make money. And then after you're bringing in money and you've got a client, that's when we really help you learn how to do all of the work. So you get hands-on paid training in the academy, basically. So these are going to be your clients. It's your business. We are not a multi-level marketing company. We don't take any kind of profits to any of your clients. It's 100% your business, 100% your revenue, your income, your profit. So we just help you learn the skills. So it's really awesome. Let's see. Hey Deborah, thanks for joining. Let's see, if you've never done bookkeeping before, do you truly help with each and every aspect of setting up the business, marketing, learning QBO, etc. Yes, absolutely. We actually help with absolutely everything. When I talk to other coaches that I know, they are always really shocked by everything that we help with. We specialize in taking complex topics and making it very easy to understand. So it ranges from setting up your LLC, all the legal stuff, insurance that you need, bank accounts, quoting, billing, best practices with clients. Let's see what else. Learning how to do marketing, learning how to do sales that's comfortable for you. All of these really, really important skills that successful people have, we help with every single one of those. We also have a lot of mindset areas that we help with as well to help all of our students get past anything that might be like mentally holding them back. We also teach you how to use the QuickBooks online software, literally everything from mindset to marketing to sales to software to quoting to conversations. Any aspect that you could possibly think of about running a business, we help with in the Academy. We help and support with. So when I started my bookkeeping business, if you read my ebook, you can kind of learn a little bit more about my journey, what it looked like, so you can kind of see what that would look like for your family. But when I started my bookkeeping business, I had my accounting degree, CPA license, and about 5 years of working in a CPA firm, about 20 years of working with QuickBooks Online. And there was so much that I needed to learn when I started my business. So many little things that I had no clue about. So those are the kind of things that we also help with in the Bookkeeper Academy. So anytime, what I really love about it is when I started my bookkeeping business, I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have a boss, I didn't have coworkers, I didn't have anybody to help or support me when I came against something that I had no idea how to handle. And what I love about the Bookkeeper Academy is that not only have I gone through all of those things and have been able to support people on that, but now we have tons and tons of other moms that have gone through the Bookkeeper Academy and have learned these same exact skills and these same exact things that you're going to encounter, and they can help you move past those things quickly as well. So we don't all have to keep reinventing the wheel over and over again. So the faster you can get to success, the better, because then you get to spend more time with your kids, you get to enjoy more of that financial freedom quicker, you know, than putting in a lot of time and effort of going to, you know, college or working as an apprentice under somebody or something like that. I know one thing that I did want to address today is I saw there was a post in the group. I'm going to move my phone over a tiny bit. There was a post in the group from Denise, and she said that she had a discovery call and she was super excited about the Academy, but so upset because she didn't think she could afford to do this, because she didn't think she could take that kind of financial risk. And I really want to talk about that because, you know, everybody, I feel like a lot of people that join our Bookkeeper Academy, they're kind of at a turning point in their lives. And it's like, do you keep going down this path? Do you keep feeling stuck and frustrated? Do you keep wishing that you could have all these things that you don't currently have, that you've wanted for a really long time? Or do you finally take that last risk, that last financial risk that's going to set you up for life? Every single time that you make an investment or you do something different than what you're currently doing right now, it's going to be scary. It's going to feel risky. But I'm here to tell you that if you keep moving forward and you don't give up on yourself, there is no risk in this whatsoever at all. Like, there's no risk. You will 100% achieve the life that you want if you do this. The only risk is, I guess you need to look inside yourself and determine if you're going to keep your word and follow through with it. We do have sometimes people come in and they get too scared and they don't keep their word to themselves that they're going to make this happen, and so they don't take action. But if you take action and you keep your word to yourself, you will be successful at this 100%. And so with that, there really is no risk. What the risky part is that you're giving up on the life that you're dreaming about because you're not willing to bet on yourself. You're not willing to follow through and make sure that what you want is that you deserve it, that you're going to make it happen. So I just wanted to like touch on that a little bit, because I feel sad for, you know, some of you guys in here that are just like nervous to take the risk and to do it, because you're just missing out on so much. You know, I definitely like to say, like, having a business sometimes isn't always super easy, you know. Like, we're traveling around in the RV right now, and I have to try to find a time to do these lives and to check my email and to work and things like that. So it's hard to balance, but if I didn't have this business, we wouldn't be on this vacation. We wouldn't be doing this trip. And if you missed it last week, last Tuesday, I was traveling as well. And so Crystal, one of our students, decided to hop on and share her experience. And I was able to watch some of it, and she had mentioned that she was able to take her kids to Disney World, and she didn't work the entire time she was at Disney World. Her clients didn't even realize she was on vacation, and she was able to buy upgraded tickets for her whole family, do the lightning pass, and not have to wait in lines. And those little perks, those little fun extra things are what make, you know, having this business worth it, worth the hard work, because you get to do really awesome things like that the average person doesn't necessarily get to do. So really cool stuff. And if you guys didn't get a chance to watch her call last week, I highly recommend going back and watching that. It's either here in the Facebook group, or we also have it on our website. If you go to stayatHomeBookkeeper.com, you can click on live replays and you can watch the replay there. But so yeah, so definitely wanted to make sure you guys saw that. And is anybody watching right now? Are you guys brand new to the group? Any brand newbies? Anybody coming up with discovery calls this week, or recently have a discovery call? Happy to answer any questions that you have about this process. If you also go to our website, we have a calculator on our website that shows you exactly how much money that you can make with your bookkeeping business, and how does that equate into hours worked and number of clients. So let's see, I can just pull up the website here real quick if my internet is going to work. Nope, says no internet. Guess my internet shut off. So anyway, if you go to stayatHomeBookkeeper.com, then you can scroll down and you can see the calculator. So if you need to make like $5,000 a month, you can scroll over to the $5,000 mark, and then you can see exactly how many clients that would mean for you, that you would need to get, and also how many hours per week that it would take you to do the bookkeeping work. And thank you for dropping our website in there. And it's about $100 an hour is what you can make. And if you want to do this business full-time, you want to work 40 hours a week, you can actually make about $200,000 to $250,000 a year working full-time with no employees. So almost all of that money would be profit that you would be able to move over into your personal account to use for whatever you want in your life. And bookkeeping business is very, very profitable. There isn't going to be a ton of expenses, especially if you don't have contractors and you do all the work. Then you can actually keep most of the profit. The only other expenses that you're going to have are internet for your computer, and you would have the errors and omissions insurance for your insurance. You definitely want that once you get your first client. You'll pay for your email address, which is like $12 a month. And as you grow and scale and you get more clients, you'll probably add some software programs that help you with efficiency, but they are definitely not required at the beginning. Hey Miranda, thanks for asking a question here. Can you talk a little bit about providing payroll services to clients through an outside payroll service provider like Gusto? Yes, absolutely. So I will tell you about that, but if there's any specific question that you have, definitely let me know and I can address that as well. So we teach you in the academy how to process payroll. We prefer that you use an outside payroll service like Gusto. Some people do use QuickBooks Payroll, and I think it's getting better, but we do usually prefer that you guys use Gusto or ADP or full service QuickBooks Payroll or something of that nature, because then they process all the tax payments and they file all the payroll reports. So really the only thing that you have to do is I recommend you teach your clients how to actually log into the system and process time, put their employees' time in and submit the payroll. And you can just act as a go-between between Gusto and your client, but you can actually make money on providing payroll services without actually having to spend any of your time doing it. Some of our students in the academy, they do offer to actually process the payroll for them. So when the client is ready to run payroll, they will email the bookkeeper and they will say, here are the list of all of my employees and here are their total hours for the week. Can you go ahead and submit payroll? And so then the bookkeeper will log in, they will input all the time, and they will process the payroll, making sure that all the hours and the pay rates are correct. And then the payroll companies, they actually file all the taxes and all the payroll reports automatically, so you don't actually have to do that. However, when you enroll in the academy, we have a payroll basics course that you get access to, and we explain exactly what these payroll companies are doing on the back end so that you have the ability to oversee and review and basically double check what the payroll company has done, and then you can make sure that it matches with your bookkeeping. So basically we break out the payroll entries, all the payroll expense, into pretty much two categories. Salaries and wages, so this is going to be the amount that shows up on all of the employees' W-2s calculated together, and then the second one would be payroll taxes. So this is the tax expense that the business owner has to pay that is contributed to the payroll. So if you're totally brand new to payroll, it's really not too hard. The payroll basics course is pretty fast to get through, and it only takes really working with a few clients to really get it down and to understand it all. But that's another good thing about the Bookkeeper Academy, is that you can hop on calls. We have calls 5 days a week that you can hop on, and you can always post in our private support group and asking specific questions about this, and you can post until you get every single one of your questions answered. We are there to go into painstaking detail to help you understand and master these skills. So that way you always feel like you know what you're doing. And with accounting, bookkeeping, taxes, payroll, all that kind of stuff, there's always something to learn. So it's always really handy to have somebody there that can provide some insight and guidance and give you at least a starting point of where to start researching to get the answers to your questions. So Miranda, let me know if you have more questions about that. I'm happy to go into more detail if that didn't answer it, because there's a lot of different ways we can go with payroll, and I'm happy to elaborate. If someone has never done bookkeeping before and has a goal of $5,000 a month, would the DIY course be enough to help them reach those goals? That is a good question. So if your goal is $5,000 a month, in our Bookkeeper Academy, when we have students that have those goals, it's usually between, I'd say, 3 to 5 months on average is when our students hit that goal, as long as they are, actively working towards it and taking action on a regular basis. It's usually between 3 and 5 months that they hit that. And then from there, then it really skyrockets after that, because it's just the beginning part, getting some stuff down and understanding the process, and then building that momentum and that traction. And then once you kind of hit the 5K, then it's kind of like you have what we call the snowball effect in the academy, where you start rolling down the hill and picking up clients fast. But it takes about 3 to 6 months to hit $5,000 a month in the academy, with support and a lot of just help and helping you pass any potential roadblocks. If you are wanting to do the DIY course, off the top of my head, I can't think of very many people that have bought the DIY course that have kept in touch with us that have hit the $5,000 mark. in that time frame, and maybe at all. I think it just really also depends on your confidence level, the amount of time you have to be able to research one-off questions on your own, and if you do have any experience or not. So there's a lot of contributing factors, and the DIY course is great. It gives you a really great baseline of where to start so you can understand how to get moving. But there are always unexpected things that pop up when you own your own business that the DIY course couldn't possibly cover everything. And that's what the Bookkeeper Academy is all about. So the DIY course can definitely help you get started. It really depends on so many factors if you're able to take that DIY course and run with it and have a super successful $5,000 a month or more bookkeeping business with that alone. It really depends on your experience, on your confidence level, on the amount of time you have to research this and figure this out all on your own. So, but the Bookkeeper Academy definitely is set up to help you get to that in like 3 to 6 months. We really have been fine-tuning and focusing all of our efforts on making the Bookkeeper Academy amazing so that you guys can get results really fast, because it's really the only way that we can like guarantee that you're going to be able to hit your goals. With the DIY course, we don't have any involvement. We can't support you in any way. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say, and it really depends on each individual personality and their previous background and experience on how quickly you can actually be successful with a DIY course. In my experience too, with just DIY courses, a lot of people don't follow through with them. A lot of people don't actually watch them all. Without having that accountability and that push and the camaraderie, the group to be there supporting you, it's really hard to make yourself do it, especially us moms. Like we're busy. We already wear like a million hats as it is. So it's really hard to like try to find time for all of that stuff. Let's see, Miranda says, okay, so in that scenario, Gusto assumes all the risk for any errors, late deposits, etc. Yes, so when you use an outside payroll service, they do assume all the financial risk. And that's how we definitely advise all of you guys, all of our students, to use a company like that unless you are a payroll expert and you know a lot about payroll. So even with the QuickBooks payroll, there are versions of that where you kind of are in charge of submitting the deposits and making the what's the word I'm looking for? Filing the reports. And I just don't think that's a good idea, especially for anybody that's new. I didn't want to assume that risk even as a CPA, so I preferred using a third-party service. And I recommend that for all of my students, especially if you're new to bookkeeping, because you don't know what you don't know. So we just want you to be, fully protected, because there is a lot with payroll. When you're talking about taxes, the IRS, you never want to mess with that, and then you never want to mess with employees' pay. So it's just best to have a third-party service that is used to doing this guide you along. So, great question. Let's see. What else you guys got for me today? I guess I can tell, while I'm waiting for some questions, I can tell you. You're very welcome, Miranda. I just got done driving around. We went from Houston to Austin, Texas, and then from Austin, Texas, we went to Galveston, then New Orleans, then Point Clear, Alabama, and then Orlando. And we got to drive around in a supercar rally with 70 other supercar drivers, people that were driving Lamborghinis and what other cool cars, McLarens, all sorts of awesome, really fun supercars. And we got to drive around and go to car shows and travel around in a big group. And now we are close to Miami. We're in Hollywood in our RV. The rally has ended, and now we're just hanging out in our RV, finishing up our little traveling vacation. So all of this stuff is super possible when you have a virtual business And the cool thing is, your virtual business, if you start a bookkeeping business, you know, everybody has different goals, and that's totally cool. I'm going to tell you what happened with us is I was able to retire my husband in about 7 months of starting my bookkeeping business. It wasn't expected, wasn't planned. I really was just going to pick up a couple clients so I could be a stay-at-home mom again. And there are so many bookkeeping clients out there, people that need bookkeeping help, that it was super easy for me to find enough clients to cover all of our household bills. And then my husband got to stay home, which has been great because if we decide to pick up and go on a 2-week-long vacation, I can still work from the road, but I don't have to worry about working around his corporate job either. So it's really nice because we can just go do whatever we want. And the cool thing is a lot of our students in the last year have retired their husbands as well, and they can do the same thing. So it's absolutely an incredible opportunity. And I really encourage you guys all, if any of this idea, this business, having a flexible schedule, working on the go, retiring your spouse, any of that stuff, if any of that stuff sounds interesting to you at all, I encourage you guys to book a call with us. We do free discovery calls, and all of our girls that answer the calls, they would love to talk with you about your goals, because like everybody that joins our academy, they all have like a little bit different goal. So if you book a call with us, we can go over what your goals are, and they have so much experience working with other students in the academy that they could give you basically a blueprint of what your life would look like if you decide to invest in the Bookkeeper Academy, and realistically how you can reach those goals for your vision of your future life, of your future. So it's really fun if you guys want to just book a call and chat about it. They'd be happy to go over that with you, learn about what's important to you, learn about your goals, and then explain to you exactly if starting a bookkeeping business is right for you, and if it could help your family, then they will explain to you in what ways, like what that would look like for you. My ebook on my website at stayatHomeBookkeeper.com, it can kind of give you a window into what that's like, because I talk about my story, what my life was like before, why I decided to do this, and all the different ways that my life has changed since I started my bookkeeping business. So that will really help, but you can also book a discovery call with us, and we would be more than happy to chat about it with you and see if it's a good fit. Let's see, Miranda says, another question about payroll. Are the payroll prices on the pricing tool intended for if we were processing payroll on our own, or if we're using an outside payroll service provider? The quoting calculator does have pricing for payroll, assuming that you're using an outside payroll service provider. So, but it is not, I'd say on there, it's typically, that's minimum. The quoting calculator doesn't quote real well for the payroll portion of the services. It does really good for the monthly bookkeeping and the back work, but payroll, you can play around with it on there. That would be a minimum. I would say it's a minimum. So, and anything on the quoting calculator is a minimum. I wouldn't offer to go below what the quoting calculator says for any client. So it should be your baseline, and you should eventually like build up confidence to quote higher and higher with each new client you get. And there are fees, of course, if you use an outside payroll provider. There's a lot of different ways where you can quote payroll, honestly. If you're going to cover the cost of Gusto internally and then charge them for the payroll service, then you're going to, like, let's say you're going to charge them $200 a month for the payroll service. Gusto only charges you $50, then you're going to make $150 a month just overseeing their payroll. And this is why I usually tell people to have their teach their clients how to submit payroll for themselves, so that way you actually don't even have to do hardly anything for that $150 a month profit. The other way you can do it, that I've seen other people do it, I don't necessarily recommend this, but you can have the client pay for the Gusto payroll service, and then you can just charge them an extra $100 or $150 a month to oversee it and to input the time. So there's lots of different ways to do that. But this is cool, because another really neat perk of being in the Bookkeeper Academy is, like, when you have, there's a lot of different ways this could work out. So, like, you know, just trying to think through every possible scenario so you can be prepared for a potential future client is unrealistic. because there's so many different things that could come up. But in the Bookkeeper Academy, we have a weekly call that's all about quoting. So when you get a particular client that's like, hey, I've got this going on, you could hop on that call or any of the other calls as well and get feedback on that particular situation. So this is what I love the most about the Academy, because I know when I had my bookkeeping business, I felt like, oh my gosh, I need to be prepared for everything, for every single person that might walk through my door. But that's just incredibly unrealistic and impossible. It's impossible. So having that support in the Bookkeeper Academy and having, you know, other people that have been through these situations before helps you feel prepared, even though you don't quite know what's going on yet or know the material. So it's really, really helpful to be able to focus spending your time on the things that are actually important in the moment. Current clients, your kids, your family, what's going on in the present. And then if something comes up, then you tap into the support group and we help you answer those questions, versus trying to, you know, figure out all of these extra things with payroll and stuff like that on your own ahead of time before it even really is an issue. Because it may never even come up, it may never even be an issue, or maybe something that really just solves itself really easily. So for all of you that got tagged and you are having a call this week, I'm excited for you. It's going to be great, and let us know if you have any questions. And don't be shy when you get on the call. Make sure if you have your significant other with you that they can be on there with you. We don't mind if there are kids in the background. There will be kids in the background on most of your calls from our team, because we all love to work from home with our kids. And if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to ask. Jot them down beforehand. Make sure you feel like you've gotten a really good understanding of what this journey could look like for you before you get off the call with our team. Yep. You are very welcome, Miranda. Happy to help anytime. I'm here every Tuesday. We do this every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Time. So if you guys have any questions for me, any other next time as well, I'm always happy to help and to answer. All right, so anybody else got any questions? Otherwise, I might keep this short and sweet today. Go hang out with all the kids out at the RV park. And don't forget to book a call with us and go back and watch the live from last week where Crystal shared her experience. She is a very, very awesome, interesting, wonderful lady, and she has, her goal is to keep her business small for now and enjoy the free time and the flexibility that she's been able to have with this business. So I think you guys will all really like to go back and watch her interview from last week. It's a great one. It's a really great one. All right. I think that's all. I'm going to wrap it up for today. But again, we'll see you guys next week. And if you have any more questions, feel free to comment below, and we will definitely reach out to you and get those questions answered. And we look forward to seeing all of you guys on a discovery call very soon. All right, thanks. All of you guys have a great week. Bye.